الدنيا تضيق خلقك، الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك. هدي وارتاح ثابر واطمح من حقك، بس بلاش العين. لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك، الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك. هدي وارتاح ثابر واطمح من حقك، بس بلاش العين.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, friends, media. It's great to have you all here. Apologies that we've started a wee bit late, but I must tell you we were overwhelmed. I think last week we were concerned who's going to pitch at the press con today. We had some important things happening in our country and in our city this week where media were committed. And when I spoke to Kaz yesterday, she said we're expecting an excess of 40 people, so we've had to rearrange things this morning. But welcome, thanks for being here. And to my panelists, co-panelists, Sharif Al-Banna from Awakening Records, it's an extreme honor to have you here, actually. Thank you for coming out. To Marlene Leroux, I didn't just get you here for your late. But thank you for cheering. It's amazing. Come to next. And to Heda from the Embassy of Sweden, our cultural attaché, thanks for being a part of this. So I guess, what must I say? We have a global superstar right at the top of Table Mountain. And at the outset, I must thank Table Mountain, the aerial table where come to Walida is here, for when we first discussed this some time back. She said the press con has to happen on top of Table Mountain. And that's not because she saw an Instagram pic of Maher on the mountain some 2 years back. But she said we're going to shout right from the top of Table Mountain that he's here. And we're going to tell the world that he's right here in Cape Town. So he's here. So I guess I'll talk a bit about what's happening and why we're all here. I think lots of things have been said in the media over the past few months. But safe to say that this journey didn't start yesterday. In fact, it started a few years ago, and we were quite honored to have Maher Zain in Cape Town just 2.5 years back, and fortunate that he attended another production of Inner Circle Entertainment, and that's really where the seed was planted, where we did some complex music with the Cape Town Philharmonic Orchestra. I know Louis is not here this morning, but he can bear testimony to that. We did some really complex music, rearranged it, traditional music from the East, some folk music as well. And it was quite a challenge for the orchestra to perform that. And on Maher seeing that and us having a chat, we thought we would do something at some point in time. And you know, every superstar tells you that, well, we must do something. You try and get hold of him the next week. But the journey started there, and the team from Awakening, we had many discussions, many meetings, lots of time. Meetings both here and outside of the country, and we started putting this plan together. And we are extremely honored that this is the first time in the world that Maher Zain's audience will be seeing this concert. And we have, I'll just run through some brief numbers. We have a 46-piece orchestra playing with him, and that excludes his band. And many of the band members, I think all of them are here this morning. I'd like to extend a special welcome to them. It's a challenging project, but we have artists here from Spain, from the Netherlands, from the UK, from Egypt, from India, and from Sweden.
And Holland.
And Holland, yeah. So we have a team from so many places. We have a local orchestra. And what I'm extremely proud of is that the music for this concert has actually been scored right here in Cape Town. And it bears testimony to the talent that we have, the amazing talent, and that we could show the whole world what Cape Town and South Africa is capable of. And it's partnerships like these, I think, are critically important. There's a song that some of you will listen to, those who manage to get seats, tomorrow evening and possibly on Saturday. It's called One Big Family. And I think if you take nothing else from that concert, take away the song One Big Family and listen to the message in that. And I think that is what we need to tell the world today. This is not about a Lebanese artist who's lived in Sweden and who's come to South Africa, who the Muslim world knows very well. It's not about that. This music is for everybody on this world. And listen to that song tomorrow. It's going to be really special. So I don't have much more to say other than the fact that we've been working and not sleeping much, but we're surviving. And we're going to lay it onto Cape Town and the world tomorrow. So thank you for being here. Take out the messages to your audiences. I must welcome Talha and Joshua, who have come in especially from Turkey and Saudi to come and cover this tour because they felt the importance and the significance of this project. So thank you so much. And with the cooperation and assistance of South African tourism, I must thank and acknowledge them for being a part of this in some way or another. Right? And then to Mark, who's looking at me from the Mark and the Taj Cape Town group, thanks for being the gracious host that you always are. If my artists sleep well and they eat well, that's 80% of the job done. So thank you to you and to the incredible Inner Circle team. Unfortunately, not all of them are here because they're working hard at the venue to make it all happen tomorrow. I must tell you that we have about 100 people working in the back to make this all happen. And they are all local talent. So thank you. And I'm going to hand back to Kaz, and she'll get some of the other team members to say some important things. Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to hand it straight to Hedda. Hedda Kraus, Cultural Attaché, Swedish Embassy.
Yes, hi. Morning, everyone. Hedda Kraus, Cultural Attaché at the Embassy of Sweden in Pretoria. So, first of all, we are thrilled to have one of Sweden's biggest international artists here in South Africa, Maher Zain. It's a great honor for us to be playing a small part in having you here. So we're so happy. And apart from that, we're also thrilled, happy that Inner Circle Entertainment reached out to us a couple of months ago with Nisar to ask if we wanted to, in some way, cooperate in bringing Maher Zain here. And for us, it's like a present from Inner Circle Entertainment, an organization, a company that works, I think, with groundbreaking new ideas of bringing Sweden and South Africa together with the oldest symphony orchestra on the continent, bringing Sweden and South Africa together. And for us at the embassy, I think this is a beginning. And that's what's interesting. How can we do more of these kinds of corporations, and how can this concept travel from South Africa to other parts of the world and maybe to Sweden? And that's what we're working on now. So it's just a beginning, and I want to thank you so much for engaging in this, for bringing us in, and thank you also to Volvo Cars for supporting us in this endeavor, and Awakening Records as well. I think that's all I have to say today. Thank you, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hedda. I hope it's the beginning of many things too. I'd like to now hand over to Sharif Hassan, the CEO of Awakening Records.
Thank you. I actually have many names. Sharif Bana is the one that I use. I'm the CEO of Awakening. I'd like to begin by thanking all of you for the warm welcome, thanking Hassar and his dedicated, committed team for putting on this unique event. Normally, when we have events or concerts around the world, there's only one or two of the directors who travel with Maher. But this time we decided that not only will all of the directors and the senior management, including myself, would travel, because this for us is the first of many. It's the first time, as we heard, that Maher is collaborating with the Cape Town Philharmonic Orchestra. Actually, it's the first time that he's collaborating with any Philharmonic Orchestra. It's the first time we are having a press conference on Table Mountain.
Yes.
It's the first time that the Swedish Embassy has got so involved by your support and enthusiasm and passion for this, as we can see. So it's a first of many. And here also, it's the first time an event of this kind is taking place at Artscape, where we've been around for about 15 years or so as Awakening Records. I mean, although we're a record label, we're driven by a passion and a mission. And that passion and a mission is essentially to essentially highlight what brings us all together. I mean, myself and my fellow sort of co-founders are here, Maher, Wasim. We grew up as, you know, admiring the, and, you know, some of us, you know, being very emotionally attached to the anti-apartheid struggle. And for us, in our own way, we're struggling against bigotry, racism, xenophobia, Islamophobia, but through the power of music. We're not here to preach, we're not here to teach, we're just here to share, you know, as Maher will say, music is our language, and this language is universal that we're sharing with the world. And that's what's driving Awakening. I mean, many of you hopefully will come to the concert and you'll see, and yes, there are songs about the Islamic faith, there are songs about religion, but these are not songs which are religious per se. They're songs about religion, reflecting our own identities as Muslims, as Western, and something for humanity at large. One of the problems that we find, and we were just having a chat about this in the, on the way up here, is you know, how we can leverage the power of music for to shatter misunderstanding, bring communities together, and that's essentially what we're driven by. So our sort of slogan is, we're faith inspired but values driven.
لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك الحمد لله تافل وضح من حقك بس
If our music just speaks to one segment of the community, then we're not doing our work. You know, so that's why it was a huge honor and pleasure for us to be invited and now working with Nisar. I was initially told he was one of Cape Town's leading figures in the finance industry. I've yet to see that, because for the past 2 months, he's been working harder than any of my directors. You know? Right?
I'll get back to that next week.
I was in touch for the past 2 months. And this I'm not saying out of exaggeration. You know, Bara and others and Wasim can testify that I've been more in touch with Nisar than I have with some of my own senior management. So thank you, Nisar, for your not just for putting this on, but for your passion and the attention to detail from everything. You know, from every aspect. And it's this aspiration for excellence, for striving. You know, striving for the best that we find lacking generally in all spheres of life. You know, everybody wants to become an overnight superstar, put up something on YouTube, get millions of hits, but you know, there's no struggle, there's no laboring, there's no tears, there's no late nights. So thank you for that. Thank you for the Swedish Embassy for the support. Thank you for Artscape, and thank you for everyone who the Taj as well. Although I'm yet to see the rooftop penthouse. We are going this afternoon? Yeah, okay. Thank you. But it's a wonderful place, you know, a wonderful place. We definitely recommend this for visitors who come. And hope to see you all tonight, or tomorrow, is it? Tomorrow. Tomorrow or on Saturday night. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharif. And now I'd like to hand over to Marlene LaRue, CEO of the Artscape.
I think it's, what can we say? We're actually all overwhelmed. It's a time in our country and global peace that we're sitting here today. And the music and the event is beyond us as human beings. I want to say thank you to this young man that is not just about your music, but understanding that life, we need to contribute to global peace through our music, through our art, but also the understanding about inclusivity and about humankind. And that is why I would like to say a special thank you to Nizar. We in Cape Town, we're extremely privileged, and in the Western Cape and in South Africa, because of our history that we do have, is that we are cosmopolitan. But it's also extremely important that we not just look at the word tolerance. It is about how we're walking in each other's shoes, about positiveness, about positive culture, positive faith, and positive language. And how do we embrace it for the new generation? And this is what this concert is about. We are extremely privileged, not just as a theatre, but as South Africa and Africa. We want to say to you, thank you. Baie dankie. Salam, Sukran, Nkosi Kukulu, from the deepest from our heart, from humanity. But lastly, we want to wish you well. Because this is not just a journey of easiness, of just going on stage and being a superstar. This is a journey that you take your talent to share it with others and to be good and to share the message that what we need to do as musicians with this gift that we get, that we can't just use this gift just to say for material things, and the world is not waiting for leaders that needs to lead on ethics, leadership that's kind to people, and leadership that looks at equality. And this concert is about this. So young man, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Chilla.
Thank you, Marlene. I could not have said it better myself. And while I can talk about the numbers of your social media, 1.8 billion views on YouTube, 26 point something million fans on Facebook, 3.8 million followers on Instagram, and more, I think it's about the message that you are conveying. In my business, it's all about the message. If we get that right, then the campaign works. But the message that you're bringing, Maher, is clearly working. Keep singing, keep sending that message. And now I'm going to ask you to give your own message. Thank you.
Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum, and good morning. I think everyone has said most of what I wanted to say, but I can repeat some things which are, the thank yous to Inner Circle, Swedish Embassy, to everyone, Artscape, Waking Records, and Table Mountain, South Africa, Cape Town. I'm really happy to be here, really, really happy. And everywhere I go in the world, when they ask me, what is your favorite city? One of the top I always say is Cape Town, for sure. And one of the reasons is this mountain, because I love nature. And I was just standing outside and saying, I could stay here all day, but without cameras, without anyone, and just like go further away, where there's no cement, So I'm really happy to be here, very excited, and obviously, for the concert, this is something new and fresh for me. I've done so many shows for the past 10 years now, and this is the first time we do it at such a level, with the Philharmonic Orchestra, Cape Town Philharmonic Orchestra, and we've had 2 days rehearsals, and we've just heard and how beautiful they play my songs. I was just saying this yesterday. While working on a song, it's just you wait for the moment to release that song so people can hear it, right? And then you go to the concert, you hear the people singing it, you hear the radios playing it, etc. And now, like we could hear, when I was hearing the orchestra playing my song, it was really like, it was a great emotions, and feeling. So anyway, I'd like to thank everyone, you guys also for coming here, taking your time. And inshallah, I hope tomorrow will be a successful night, and on Saturday, inshallah, I'm really, really excited. I cannot describe it, so hopefully tomorrow, inshallah, will deliver, and everyone will go there and have a memorable night, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maher. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we will now have a short question and answer session. There are 2 roving mics behind you. Followed by which then we will do a number of limited one-on-ones, those who requested and any that we can fit in. I would then ask that you all move back so that we can go through quietly. Are there any questions from the floor? Please identify yourself and where you're from. Any questions?
Yes,
My name is Rosanna, I'm a freelance journalist. I just wanted to know, you've touched on your rehearsals with the Philharmonic Orchestra. Obviously when you go on stage it's going to be a different thing. What are you looking forward to, and what can the audience also look forward to?
I mean, I'm looking forward to the concert and the audience reactions and interactions. And definitely, the audience can look forward to something, they've never seen before from my perspective. And I've had concerts here before. We did in Cape Town and Durban, I think. And it was, mashallah, a great turnout, about 10,000 and 8,000 in Durban. So it was a great concerts. And tomorrow, inshallah, that's the thing. They will see something they've never seen from my perspective, from with my music. So I hope, inshallah, they will be, entertained, emotionally moved, and yeah, all these kind of feelings, that you can have in a concerts, and what music is all about, also emotions. I talk about that again, as Sharif said, it's a language itself. It's an international language. And sometimes they ask me, what's your favorite song? I say it depends on the mood, right? So if you want to be happy a little bit, you listen to an upbeat song. If you want to listen to something calm, you listen to any calm song, etc. So I think that will be like a lot of emotions tomorrow, I think.
But the most important thing for South Africa and the world is to see that traditional theatres that's been seen only classical. It's how musicians, because you're first of all a musician, how musicians collaborate with their talent, and this is what you're going to experience tomorrow night. And not putting musicians into boxes, because you're first and foremost a musician, and you want to share and you want to collaborate.
Yeah.
Surely, it's obviously not easy collaborating with the orchestra, with the live orchestra. Will that be the? But has it been easy? That you're going to perform with the live orchestra actually?
Obviously, this is the first time I do it. So while we were rehearsing, I experienced one thing that was a little bit problematic for me. It was just that most of my songs, or many of my songs, are very Eastern and Oriental, and we have some notes that Western musicians normally they don't play. It's not that they can't play, they cannot play it, but they don't play it. Yeah. So that was something that we faced, because the score writers they've been working obviously for this, because it's almost about 30 songs that we perform. So it's a long long process in scoring and writing all these notes for all these kind of musicians. But there've been the musicians and the score writers, especially Marvin. He was very cooperative. Yesterday, after actually the day before, on Tuesday. After the rehearsals, I was a little bit concerned. I said, is there any possibility if we can adjust these things, And he said yes, and I know that he didn't sleep until 4 in the morning, Tuesday morning, but still he went with me to the hotel, and we sat down with his laptop and adjusted all these kind of things, so so everyone has been very cooperative and professional, and the way it got together, in the, I think music is feelings as well. It's not just theory, it's also about feelings. So when musicians are playing and when they are listening together, you listen to the drums, you follow the rhythm, you listen to the bass, you listen to the violins, you get emotional. So everything comes together, and the result is just that sound that moves you emotionally. So it's really, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna go great, inshallah. We've done 2 rehearsals. Everything went very well, especially yesterday, and tomorrow morning we'll still have the rundown as well, and inshallah we'll be ready.
Another question over there.
Short person. Assalamu alaikum, Maher. My name is Sabra Sheikh. I'm from Voice of the Cape Radio. We got to speak to you last time in Durban, so it's pretty cool to be up here with you. You're speaking about feelings.
Yes.
So just to ask, on behalf of your fans, once you get into stage, what's the last thought that crosses your mind before you belt out a song?
What's the last
Thought.
thought?
Yeah, that crosses your mind before you
Before I
belt
start
out.
or before I perform a song?
Before you perform a song.
I don't know, it's different. Again, it depends what song it is, and but it depends, it depends on the song, what mood we are in right there. So it's really like I cannot put a finger on that and say that's exactly what happens. But as an artist standing on stage, I always expect and love to see the reactions and the interactions from the audience, and this is something that we really experienced here in South Africa. I know in Africa in general, people love music. The way you dance, the way like the moves, it's just like it's in your blood, One time I was actually in Cote d'Ivoire, right? And I can see, it's like I know people want to sit down, they don't want to stand up and dance because of my, but you can see like they were like this on the chair. Couldn't sit still. So it's just like in your. So I'm really looking forward to that tomorrow. I know for sure that's what the entertainment. Yeah, they will entertain me back then.
Assalamu alaikum, Maher. I'm Shana Davids from ITV. I'd like to know, I know you love Cape Town.
Yes.
Why have you not come to Johannesburg in the last 2 concerts you've been here?
That's the thing. You need to talk to all these guys here. For me, I just like, okay, you have a concert in Cape Town, I'm ready, So the organizing part is not my.
Inshallah, we'll make dua, you can.
Let's do it. I would love to come back here again and again, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Any more questions?
If I can add to that, you'd realize tomorrow when you see this concert that this is a major exercise in logistics. And the nature of this concert does not make it mobile or portable on a weekend. It's just practically not possible. So, and that's the primary reason why this has not gone to Joburg or Durban or Port Elizabeth or East London or Kimberley. It's been crazy the amount of requests we've had. And some people angry with me, but I'm sure many of them have made it down to Cape Town, like yourself and others, and they'll come and spend the weekend here and hopefully see both concerts. But yes, it's largely an exercise in logistics. I was not prepared to compromise what we're doing tomorrow at any cost.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got lions in Johannesburg, if that pulls you down there.
Hey, by the way, this lions, man, I don't think I can do that again. My mother and father, every time they tell me, every time you travel, you don't go play with the lions. You don't do this. You don't do that, yes.
No, our lions love you here, so you don't have to worry.
Next question.
Welcome to ITV, I'm Shana Davids, and today we're talking to world-renowned Islamic singer, songwriter and producer Maher Zain, all the way from Sweden. Maher, welcome to ITV.
Thank you
It's
so much.
so
Thank
good
you.
to have you in our country,
Thank you.
mashallah.
Good to be here.
You've been here before,
Yes.
and how was your experience of this country?
Just love it. Every time I love it. Every time I come here, it's the same feeling, and it just gets better and better.
So when you were 10 years old, your dad gave you a keyboard, am I right?
Yeah.
So is that where your music career started?
I guess, yes. I was actually 10 years old, and yeah, that's how it started, That's how it started.
And then you started producing songs for Red One, am I right?
Yeah.
So at that point, how did your family feel that you were making westernized music versus Islamic music?
I mean, I wasn't producing for Red One. I was helping him like in whatever he needed, me to help him with. But obviously my family was happy for me. They trusted me, and they were happy for me that I was, found like a passion for something, and I got into it on a professional level and had the opportunity. It could have become really big. But yeah, I worked with Red One for 3 years. And then after that, I had like this change of heart, and that's how it started. Like, okay, it was very hard actually. It wasn't easy to leave, because imagine like the opportunities, the chance that I've got, and then it was like really hard to make that decision. But it took me a year to really feel strong. Yes, I remember that.
But what exactly pulled you away from that and into Islamic?
So many things. I think there's so many things that happened even earlier. Like if we go back 7, 8, 10 years back, many things that, like a lot of questions, growing up as a Swedish, Lebanese and as an origin.
You're from Lebanon.
Yes. Origin and coming up, so it was like identity, phase and crisis and stuff like that. So, but there was a lot of stuff happening, a lot of personal stuff. I usually don't talk about them, but I met a lot of people, and with my friends, I used to feel like, okay, I'm not like them, I'm different, But I just ended up being there, and this is my friends, so I just accept and live with it. But when I was 27, that's when I met some new friends from mosque. It's a long story, obviously. Like I'm trying to make it short. But so I started going to the masjid. On Saturday they had some lectures there and stuff, and only youth. So I felt really connected to that environment. Started going. To your heart, yes, definitely. And I started going every Saturday. I didn't stop praying and all that. So. Yeah, slowly, I just came closer and closer and closer. And it took me that time, as I mentioned, a year to decide, okay, I'm not gonna do that.
Absolutely, that's wonderful. And then obviously your family welcomed it.
Yes, of course, definitely.
Yes. And at what point did you meet your wife, Aisha?
I met her actually the same year, like 2008. So after we were 2007, I came closer, and then all that happened. And end of 2008, I think, that's when we met the first time. And then.
And you were mentioning about peer pressure and all that. How important is that for a young Muslim person growing up in this world that we're living today?
Yes.
How important is peer pressure on your Islamic upbringing and way forward in Islam?
I mean, look, peer pressure. As a parent, I guess I think about it as it comes from the home, the security. First of all, I think that when we were young, or any youngsters, they need to be secure, safe. They need to feel that security from home, and building up that strong personalities to stand, against these kind of things. So you know what's right and wrong, and you can also act upon it and don't fall into peer pressure, basically. But it's not easy. Obviously, it's easier said than done. Yes. But I think it starts from the home. I really think so. As a parent, I think about that a lot. We need to raise our children as strong personalities. It's not easy. I know that. It's very hard. Yes. But this is what we have. That goal needs to be there. And then obviously, as a parent again, you need to know what friends your daughter or son is hanging around with.
Absolutely. And your parents, what bigger role do they play in your upbringing, Islamically, and going forward?
For me?
Yes.
I mean, I don't come from a family where we were very, practicing Muslims and stuff. Yeah, it was, all of us were very, very far away from it. Slowly it started to, after I became also, it started to come down. And there's a lot of course, various reasons why. Yeah.
And Aya and Abdullah, how are you raising them now? Anything different to how you
Oh, of course. I'm trying to give them everything that I didn't have, Not just as material stuff, is also, the upbringing, in general, everything. Yes. Like being a friend to them, that's one of the main things.
Also going back to your music, I know a lot of shuyukh, the sheikh and the ulums and the ulama out there, they don't really like the instruments together with the beautiful, the message you bring across is awesome, but there's a lot of, how can I say, upheaval from that side. To say that's not allowed. I know when you travel to Durban, there was quite a bit of, how do you feel about that?
I mean, obviously we respect that opinion. We see it as an opinion and not as a, ruling from our side, because we know that there are differences of opinions. Usually I don't go into details with this, especially because I want to give that message to us, like the regular human beings, not the ulama. Ulama, this is their job, to differ and work and come because of their knowledge. They can come up, they can come with these fatwas, and we just have to listen and follow and choose which one we want to follow. So it's very important for us as normal human beings to not go and say this is haram and this is halal and this and that and this and that. It's very, very important. We need to leave that and give that respect to the people who dedicated their whole lives to gaining that knowledge from all perspectives. all perspectives. So important, you know.
And obviously your music is sending that message out, not just to us adults, but to the youngsters coming through. What message do you have to our youngsters coming through in this world? With all the Islamophobia, obviously,
Yes, yes.
you know.
Obviously, this with Islamophobia, I'm trying to counter that in my way as a musician, and it's working, alhamdulillah, because music is an international language. You know, there's always going to be haters and negative people. You cannot take that away. It doesn't matter what good you do. It's always, you know. So we have to leave that aside and focus on the positive things and the people who are actually being affected positively by the work that we're doing, you know. And that's about it, you know. So, but you know, the message is, there's so many messages. But my main message, I would always say, is an Islamic message. But what is an Islamic message, you know? For me, it's not just like Quran, Allah, Ramadan. No, it's not. For me, Islam is a lifestyle. You know, love, for example, is one of the greatest gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, so in my songs, that's why you hear about love, you hear about, you know.
And saying inshallah.
Yes.
I must tell you though, that one song even moved me at some point. I was going through quite a difficult time, and your song inshallah brought me to tears, but alhamdulillah, you know. What I want to ask you is, we have a lot of Muslims around the globe, you travel around the globe, you meet people from different cultures. What is the one thing you think is binding us all as Muslim, as the Ummah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam?
I don't know, you know. I mean, Islam definitely, you know, is one of the things, the message and prayer. You know, this is one thing that I really think about. When you go to an airport and you go to a prayer room, it's like people from all around the world, right? But it's not like, it's like you see, everyone comes from the same school, right? One does the adhan, one does the iqama, and everyone stands, and then there's one imam, and everyone's doing exactly the same things. We don't know each other, we never met, you know? So Islam is definitely uniting us. The problem is that I know that we have a problem. Unity is not there 100%, and I think because of, you know, culture, ignorance. I think it's, you know, there's so many reasons why, and I think we have to work on these things, you know, to try to unite, because we are a lot of people, you know, everywhere in the world, and we're not going to be able to unite 100%, but at least 70%, 75%. Yes, exactly.
And I must say, you play a big contributing role to that. Tell me, how does your travels and everything affect your family? Obviously Aisha's not always with you, the kids aren't, you're missing out a lot on your family time. How does it affect you as the father, the Amir of the house?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, obviously I am traveling a lot, and it's become a lifestyle, you know, rather than a work, you know. So it's like, okay, I'm traveling now, okay, so it's like, honey, I'm going to work, see you in a couple of days, basically, you know. But at the same time, you know, when I'm home, you know what I mean? Sometimes, yeah, I can be like home. It's not like I'm working all day and coming home in the evening, and then there's 1-2 hours, and then they're going to sleep, and in the morning they go to school. No.
Tired of work.
Yes, exactly. So now basically, when I'm home, I'm basically home from the morning to the evening. I drop them off school, I bring them up. Yeah. We go to a playground. You know, we do all these kind of things.
Like a real family.
Yeah, exactly. We do the family stuff. And sometimes we have I can be home for like a week, 2 weeks, a month, sometimes 2 months. Yeah. And sometimes I travel a lot, so it's like it comes together, and then, you know, but I still work at home on songs and music and all these kind of things. So.
Do you write your own songs?
Yes, I do mainly, but co-write. Lyrics is co-written. Melodies, I make most of my melodies myself.
And I know Aya was part of your My Little Girl.
Yes.
Are you going to be featuring Abdullah also in one of your songs?
Yeah, I have to. I have to be fair.
Okay. Maher, lastly from you, you are such a great international star. The world loves you. What I want to know from you is, with so many millions of viewers, billions of YouTube viewers, how has that kept you grounded? How has that kept you so humble?
The first thing I could say is that surround yourself with good people, you know, that are grounded and don't just tell you yes to everything you do, you know. Rather, you know, they advise you. And, you know, for me, I really believe that talent is a gift. And gift is something, talent is not something that you manufacture yourself. So I try to always remember that, you know. So it's not like because of me, I gained what I have now. So I always try to remember that. It's not easy always to have the right intention and to be grounded and all that. You know, because as you see, like everyone taking a picture with you and everyone's giving your name, everyone running after you in many places. So it's not easy. Yes, it can, definitely. But I think, again, you know, always renew your intention. You have to have your time like for yourself, you know. Good people around you and all these kind of things helps a lot, definitely.
Alhamdulillah. But Maher, Jazakallah khairan so much for taking the time out to chat to us. And we hope to see you here very soon and often, inshallah, and Johannesburg as well. But Jazakallah khairan for everything, and wishing you all the best with your tour, inshallah.
Thank you.
لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك الحمد لله تافر وضح من حقك بس
طاعته وجه جميل والشمس كبسمته ظل ظليل هو عبد الله سيد الخلق ومصطفاه وحبيب الله خير مبعوث بوحي الله مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم يا رب صل عليه يا رب صل عليه يا رب صل عليه صلوات الله عليه هو خير عباد الله خير البرايا حي فينا بهداه حلو الوصايا نسألك الله أن تجمعنا يوما برسول الله من كوثره يروينا فتقبل يا رباه مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم يا رب صل عليه يا رب صل عليه يا رب صل عليه صلوات الله عليه طاهر القلب نقي ذاكر لله المصطفى الصفي صلى عليه الله أخلاقه وصفاته سبحان من سواه هو قدوتي وحبيبي ودعوة النجاة يا رسول الله يا حبيب الله اكتب لنا نلقاه ندعوك يا رباه مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم يا رب صل عليه يا رب صل عليه يا رب صل عليه صلوات الله عليه مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم يا رب صل عليه يا رب صل عليه يا رب صل عليه صلوات الله عليه الله معنا تسمعنا وترانا الله الله إنا نرجوك الغفران أصلحنا ويانا واغفر خطايانا الله الله واجعل في الجنة مثوانا الله ربي أسعدنا مولانا بدنيانا وأخرانا الله يا مولانا الله الله يا الله مولانا الله يا مولانا حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي الله يا مولانا وألهمنا الإحسان. الله الله ندعوك بلغنا منانا، ثبتنا ورعانا واسقينا القرآن. الله الله نرجوك أن تجيب دعانا. الله ربي أسعدنا مولانا بدنيانا وأخرانا. الله يا مولانا، الله الله يا الله مولانا، الله يا مولانا، حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي. الله يا مولانا، الله الله يا الله مولانا، الله يا مولانا، حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي. صلي على محمد نبينا، من حل في طيبة نورا وسكينة. الله يا مولانا، الله الله يا الله مولانا، الله يا مولانا، حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي. الله يا مولانا، الله الله يا الله مولانا، الله يا مولانا، حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي. الله يا مولانا، الله الله يا الله مولانا، الله يا مولانا، حالي ما يخفاك يا الواحد ربي.
لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك، الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك. هدي وارتاح ثابر واطمح من حقك، بس بلاش العين. لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك، الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك. هدي وارتاح ثابر